Hi, my name is Cameron Chu, and my topic is depression, innovative treatments and understanding. So, what is depression? Depression, or also known as major depressive disorder, is an illness that changes the way you think, feel, and act. It does this by impacting your mind and making you feel strong emotions such as sadness or fatigue. Things such as everyday activities suddenly get hard and uninteresting, which can lead to isolation and loneliness. Depression can easily affect your daily life and make it hard for you to do your job or take care of your family. However, it is important to note that depression is not to be confused with guilt. For guilt, the feelings tend to come in waves, while depression is a constant feeling over a set amount of time. For example, this can be seen when a loved one passes, as guilt is one of the first feelings to set in. It is a powerful feeling that comes but eventually goes. However, it is possible for guilt to lead into depression. There are many different types of depression. While some share common symptoms, they also have key differences between them. Starting off with major depression. This is one of the most common forms of depression. According to Healthline, 17.3 million adults in the United States have experienced one major depressive episode. Major depression has symptoms such as trouble sleeping, lack of energy, and loss of appetite. These symptoms can last for weeks or even months. Some may have it once or throughout their lives. The second is persistent depression. This form of depression lasts for 2 years or more. The symptoms include deep sadness, hopelessness, and low self esteem. Next comes manic depression. This includes periods of mania or hypomania. This means that people feel very happy, then all of a sudden sad and depressed. Next is perennial depression. This is a major depressive disorder with partum onset, which happens during pregnancy. This is basically depression after you have given birth. This is due to hormonal changes that can happen during pregnancy and childbirth. So, who's affected by depression? Well, according to statistics, major depressive disorder affects approximately 17.3 million adults, or about 7.1 of the US population, ages 18 or older in a given year. It is also more relevant in women than men. Basically, what this is saying is that depression can affect anyone, and no one is safe from the effects of this illness. It is important that we are kind to others since we never know what other people are going through in their own private lives. This illness can affect children or adults, people of any race anywhere in the world. It can be obtained by stress from jobs, family life, or even over time as stress builds up. According to psychiatry.org, it is said that people with low self esteem and are easily overshadowed by stress are more likely to experience these forms of depression. Along with that, environmental factors also play a role in depression. This can be a continuous exposure to violence, neglect from family, or abuse, which can make people more susceptible to these forms of depression. So, how can we tell if someone is showing signs of depression? Well, some of the symptoms of depression can include feeling sad or having a depressed mood, loss of interest or happiness from daily activities, having trouble sleeping at night, less energy during the day, and also feeling worthless or guilty. This is where it can get deadly, because if depression goes on without being noticed, then it can lead to thoughts of suicide. According to the Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance, depression is the cause of over two-thirds of the 30,000 reported suicides in the United States each year. It is important that we are there for people when they are in need of support, as it can save a life. I have not personally seen what depression can do depression and suicide can do to a family. However, the effects of it can be seen everywhere. Just last year, a famous football player named Dak Prescott had a brother who committed suicide, which shook the sports world. This shows no matter what your status or power, depression can affect you. So how do we treat depression? To do this, it is important to know the different types of treatment for depression. There are medications that you can take such as SSRI, which includes medicines like Prozac or Paxil, or you can take SNRIs like Tonfrol and Norelpirmin. Along with these, you can take atypical antidepressants like Zyban or Weltibern. These are atypical because they affect dopamine and other neurotransmitters without the physical side effects. These effects can be things like tics or tremors. Another alternative can be psychotherapy. This is basically therapy and helps by talking to your condition with a trained medical professional. This helps by creating stability in your life and allows you to take a step back and solve the issue mentally from the inside out. Other forms of treatment are exercise and electroconvulsive therapy. Exercise helps as staying fit is a proven way to fight against depression. By exercising, you are being healthier and helps the body to mentally reset. According to Harvard, exercise can help because of the exercise effect. This is when exercise starts to build a biological cascade of events that results in health benefits. These benefits can help protect us by releasing proteins called neurotrophics, which improve brain functions and make us feel better. They say that in people who are depressed, neuroscientists have noticed that the hippocampus in the brain is smaller. Exercise supports nerve cell growth in the hippocampus, improving nerve cell connections, which help relieve depression. Electroconvulsive therapy, while extreme, is greatly exaggerated in the movies. While not often used, it can still be a method of treatment for people with depression. Electroconvulsive therapy also works. Electrotherapy works by using electrical currents which are passed through the brain and impact the brain's function and effects of neurotransmitters in the brain. This helps to relieve depression, and it is used when patients are not compatible with other forms of medications. An example of this would be people who are at high risk of suicide. These treatments are important because it is highly likely for someone who once had depression to go through a relapse if not treated properly. A study conducted by Stephanie Burka says that 50% of those who recover from a first episode of depression end up having one or two more episodes in their lifetime. They say that a new episode can come as soon as 6 months after the last episode happened, and it can be demoralizing to see even after all the progress you have made with treatment. Even with the best treatment, it does not ensure that you will get 100% rid of your depression, and it is more likely to stay in contact. And it is more likely if you stay in contact with your doctor to relay important information about your feelings or thoughts. The same study says that young adults found that 90% of those with recurrent depression reported much impairment and limited work productivity without the required support and help from others. It can be hard to fight off depression the first time, let alone when it relapses. After all this, how do we help someone with depression? Well, we can look for the signs and symptoms along with that, again, it is important for us to be kind and help others every day. None of us know exactly what people are going through on a daily basis. So the key is to treat people the way we want to be treated. The hardest part about depression, other than experiencing it yourself, is seeing a loved one go through such an illness. It is important that above all we are there for them and let them know regularly that we will have their back no matter what. I provided a link to the Suicide Prevention Lifeline if you or someone you may know is suffering from depression. Thank you.